How's that? Next March, the England cricket team face Australia in the 150th anniversary Test match down under. And as always, the Barmy Army will be there. And thanks to talkSPORT, visit Victoria. You could be too. Enter now at talksportwin.com for the chance to score an incredible week-long trip for two to watch the 150th anniversary Test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army. Enter now at talksportwin.com and get ready to experience the electric atmosphere that only a Barmy Army tour delivers.
We keep talking, don't we, by the way, about England versus Australia next summer in the Ashes 2027. Are we forgetting there's another Ashes Test match isn't there before 2027 in Australia, 150th anniversary Ashes Test match at the MCG, isn't it? Favourite MCG moments? I'll maybe come to you first on this one. You might have some more better ones than us English lot, but when you think MCG, one of the great iconic grounds, what's kind of the best moment that's happened at that amazing stadium for you?
I think and I've been to AFL Grand Finals and Anzac Day football games and, you know, major events, plus obviously a lot of cricket. The loudest I've ever heard it was when Mitchell Starc bowled Brendan McCullum in the World Cup final. 2015. Okay. It was like, what, third or fourth ball. And I remember I was with Will McPherson and we were going to be sitting in the press box. And I said, let's go outside. Let's go sit on the seats. And he's like, really? I said, we might not get to another World Cup final at the MCG, right? Like, you know, I know, you know, Will's quite young, but, you know, emotionally he's quite old. Yeah. So, you know, he might retire.
Well, how much older are you than Will, by the way? You can't be that much in, can it?
I mean, I think he's actually physically older than me. But yeah, and we went out and like the crowd was just electric before it happened. And then Mitchell Starc bowls McCullum and the whole crowd, to be fair, knew what that meant. And it just exploded. That's the most visceral I've ever seen the MCG for anything I've ever been at. The other one that I went to, which was nowhere near the same, just because there was probably only about 15,000 people, which at the MCG is not a lot of people. But when Shane Warne took the hat trick,
okay,
it was free tickets that day. So my dad, being the type man he is, was like, "Let's get down there."
I'll treat you tonight.
Yeah. But, you know, let's go down. You can even have a pie today. We can afford a pie as well. And we went down, and like I think was it Gooch or Alex Stewart might have gone out like first or second ball because we thought it might be a good little end to a game. And like someone got a full toss. I think he hit it back to Craig McDermott. Like, oh, this is going to be dull. And then Shane Warne.
Gooch hit it back.
Was it Gooch? Yeah. And then Shane Warne gets the hat trick in Melbourne. It was such a huge moment. And I think there's probably been some slightly bigger ones for Shane Warne. But the fact that we hadn't had a hero in Victoria like that before, Melbourne, that you know, since for a long period of time, we hadn't had like the star of the team. And then for him to take the hat trick early on in his career, he'd already taken a 7-for as well, but the hat trick was so big. Those are the two that sort of come to mind. But there's a great moment.
One got a 700 wicket at the MCG as well.
That was the one for me.
Yeah.
700th, the noise in the stadium there, because everybody knew he was on 699 going into that Test match. They had just won the Ashes. We had just had Christmas, and he was.
Christmas, was it?
Well, it was Boxing Day, wasn't it? So we just obviously Christmas had come. Everybody was in because. Nobody was coming late because if Australia bowled first, there's a chance that one could, you know, get a bowl before lunch and get the wicket before lunch. So it was rammed. It was full, 90-odd thousand, and the noise was ridiculous. The noise.
Tell us about the wicket.
It was a floating half volley, wasn't it? Strauss, you missed it.
Yeah.
It was. It was right there. It was there. Bang. Yeah. Strauss missed it. So, I mean, obviously he went running off. In that game, I mean, it was quite bizarre, that game, because it's bizarre, that series. There's a few times, apart from the first Test match, there's a few times where we got 520 in Adelaide batting first. We bowled Australia out for 190 at Perth, they batted first. And in this one, we had Australia, I think it was 150 for 5 when Simons came in and got 100.
Yeah.
And you're going, you know, we got beat 5-0. We were terrible in that series. But there was one or two moments in that series which were unreal. I think one of my favourite ones that I was involved in when you talk about noise was when I got Steve Waugh caught behind and nobody appealed. I don't know if you've seen it on YouTube. I'll find it and I'll show you it. Steve Waugh walks out to bat. I think there were 80 for 4, I think. Only chasing about 120, 140. And we only had 2 bowlers. Yeah, Craig White had gone on the side. And there was just me and Caddick, and we just kept bowling and bowling and bowling. I bowled this ball sort of back of a length to Steve Waugh, who subsequently we found out afterwards when he tells the story, he had a migraine, and he sort of tried to take his hands away. And as he took his hands away, the ball just rolled up the face of the bat. James Foster was keen wicket because Stewie had the chicken pox, I think, at the time.
Okay.
Took the catch, went like that. Trez was at slip, went like that, and then stopped. Nobody appealed. And it was just the Barmy Army, literally, they were the only ones in the stadium. They were shouting and screaming. And then
You appeal?
no, I didn't appeal. I just run up the face of the bat. I think David Orchard was the umpire. And then we seen it on the big screen, and it was like, oh, no. Yeah.
So given it out?
Well, nobody appealed, so you can't give it out.
The Army did.
The Barmy Army didn't appeal. They were just singing. They were drunk and they were singing. And then the very next ball bowled this big booming half volley.
Oh,
and Steve Wars smashed it to mid-off. And Nasser catches it down here, throws it up, Nasser, and then gives it the big one. And David Orchard standing there, it was a no ball. So 2 balls in, it was as Richie would say. How are you not
appealing?
As Richie would say, it was pure theatre. But were you at the game when Gilchrist and Ponton got millions in a one-day game against England?
I mean, probably.
Yeah, it was the same. It was at MCG. It was in the same time. We were England were in the field. I wasn't playing. Rob Key wasn't playing. Adam Holyoke wasn't playing. Adam Holyoke's dad rang him at that night and said, "What on earth were you singing and dancing for?" And we were having a game in the dugout. Like me and you would do it. Me and you would do this all the time. We'd sit there. Keezy was he was a big one. Just we're wasting time doing stupid things. And he was like, $10. How many off the next over? So we were like 5, 6, 7. So we kept going playing this game from about 20 overs to about 35. Well, Gilchrist and Ponton just smashed it everywhere. So by the time, like 15 overs later, the bet was 12, 13, 40. And then they got a 6 off the last ball. I think Ponton hit 6 off the last ball, of which Adam Holyoke, because he had 12, jumped up. Yes, like that. So on the big screen, one of the England players is celebrating that Ricky Ponton's hit 6, who was Australian. And it was like, this is all at the MCG.
Also, wasn't Holyoke from Victoria originally?
No, Adam's from Perth.
I thought he grew up in Ballarat or something as well.
I think he was. I thought Adam was.
He had been around. I think his family was.
So we were all jumping up and down. The 3 of us jumping up and down while England were in the field getting belted. Ponton and Gilchrist smashed it everywhere. But
I remember
unbelievable stadium because in that 2002-3.
You not playing in that stadium. What are your favourites to play in?
I enjoyed it in 2002-3. I didn't enjoy it in 2006-7 because they'd filled it in. It was open. One half of it was open, so you could get some of it was a bit of a building side, but. Yeah, for the one days it was a bit of a building side, but it was a magnificent stadium. And then when they put all the way around, I thought it was a bit more like a concrete dome, and it was a bit soulless.
Fair enough.
Apart from that, it's an iconic. It's an iconic stadium. That it's not so much the stadium that's iconic; it's what Boxing Day means in the stadium.
Sure.
It's also you don't understand that it's huge, right? You haven't been, have you?
Sadly not.
So it used to fit about 100, I think its record is 115, 120,000, right? It's come down, it's probably about 95, 97,000 now, right? But it's huge. Like when you get there, the actual scope of the stadium is...
You've been to St James's Park, haven't you? So the degree of the depth of St James's Park.
Oh, those away fans are...
Where the away fans are. Yeah. It's probably higher than that.
And that's high.
Circumference of a cricket ground.
So people go up to like at the top of the MCG at the back of the stand and freak out because you're so high and it's like you're leaning down. It's incredible, but it's also in the middle of the city. It's not one of these stadiums that you like literally the main station, Flinders Street. It's about a 15-20 minute walk from there. It is such an important part of Melbourne as a place, right? You know, cricket and football. And so you have these incredible cultural moments that have come through that. And it really it's defined what Melbourne is. It's almost like, the main way that Melbourne sort of lets out all of its steam is in this one place. And then you've had the moments like Merv Hughes down on the boundary. Do you know about that?
Yeah,
doing the calisthenics and everything. You know, having 20,000 drunk fans imitate one guy. You've then got,
who was probably drunk at the same time.
Yeah, well, he might have been. You've got Dennis Lilly when he was like, he loved bowling at the MCG. And so you've got, again, this incredible wall of noise that happens. It's a really, really important thing culturally because Melbourne sees itself as the home of sport in the world. No one else sees Melbourne as the home of sport, but Melbourne does, and the MCG is where that all comes from. It's got a brilliant museum. There's like train stations like around it everywhere. It's such a fun place to sort of get to.
Is your favourite place to watch cricket in Australia?
It's my home, man.
Yeah,
it's not.
So nothing comes close to
on the actual surface itself. You've got the square in the middle, obviously, and then it just sort of slopes off either side. So when you're running into bowl, your eye line is not sort of like flat at row here. Your eye line is sort of, you catch more of the stadium, more of the stands that's behind it. It's weird. It is a great stadium.
It's a coliseum more than it is like a cricket stadium.
I enjoyed the old one, the way it was done when it was open, than I did when it was fully. And the sort of changing rooms are in the sort of in the dungeon downstairs. Right underneath.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And the stadiums are the change rooms are brilliant. I mean, the change rooms Australia are so good.
You could play cricket in some of the change rooms. Like they're bigger than some of the New Zealand Test venues.
When anybody says, they're brilliant for English teams because you can't fall out with anybody. You've got your own. Got your own space. If you don't like anybody in the dressing room, you don't have to see them because they are like 2 miles away. The dressing rooms are huge and massive.
No, it's a place that you need to visit once if you love cricket. And I think it's going to be a very interesting one-off test to see because it's at a weird time of the year and everything. But I think people will get behind this.
It should be a great festival of celebration of what, the big one that's missing. The big icon thing that's missing is obviously Shane's not going to be there because of what he stands for in the game, first and foremost, what he stood for at the MCG. And the big moments he had at the MCG. He talked about the hat trick. He talked about the 700th Test match wicket.
7 for against West Indies. It started it all. Yeah.
But Shane Warne was Mr. MCG.
Yeah.
And that's the only sad thing that I'm going to be disappointed at. That 150 years, this one-off game, a bit like the centenary Test match, that probably the most iconic figure of Ashes cricket from that area or from is Shane Warne's not going to be there.